Amy Williams.
Elizabeth Walker.
Rachel Baker.
Esme Parsons.
Paige Flynn.
Ruby Anderson.
Cara Parsons.
Isabella Griffin. Sorry, how long is this going to take? It was Amy's 17th. She was having a party. She invited, everyone. 200 people. I showed up at
8:32.
7 o'clock.
7:45.
8:30. 8:15.
I was setting up from about 6:45 and I told people to start arriving by 7. Steph and Rachel got here first. I never really got on with Rachel, but she is Steph's sister. So anyway, more people arrived and I didn't really have to see much of Rachel. Then when Paige arrived, I stayed with her until things started to get broken. I knew my dad would kill me if anything got wrecked. So I left Paige and went to deal with that. I never really saw much of Steph, if I'm being honest.
Look, I hardly know the girl. If I'm being serious, I've barely spoken to her. I sat next to her in chemistry for a term. But we haven't really spoken since. Isabella and I went for a good time. Amy's parties are always great. You know, the ones where there's tons of drama to talk about for the next few weeks. Nothing like this, though. I never thought anything like this could happen. Especially not Cara.
Cara had a knife. I didn't see her with it, but everyone was talking about it. I think Libby told me first. Yeah, I was upstairs and Libby had just gone downstairs to get a drink. We heard some shouting a little while before, but just thought someone had kissed someone's girlfriend or something. Libby came back upstairs and said that Paige had just told her that Cara had a knife. I don't understand. Cara was having a tough time at school. Everyone knew that. But Steph, she didn't want to hurt anyone. She'd never had a bad word to say about anyone. I just don't understand why Cara would want to hurt my sister.
I don't know why they kept hurting my sister. Those girls, Paige and Amy, they've been awful to Cara for the past 2 years. It's bullying. She'd come home and cry for hours. Mum's completely oblivious. I told Cara not to go to that party. I told her she'd only get hurt. But she didn't listen. She said she needed to talk to someone. I don't know what happened at the party, but Paige and Amy are bad news.
It's not my fault. Cara's a psycho. I saw her bring a knife to the party. She came up to me, started yelling at me for no reason, told me to stay away from her. So I did. Next thing I know, she was stumbling all over the place and shouting at everyone. She wasn't helping herself. I told her to go to the back garden, get some fresh air. Cara was the only person out there when Steph was. It's obvious, isn't it?
I just don't get it. I mean, everyone was acting off last night. And to be honest, the whole thing just kind of blurs into one. I remember hearing Cara shouting at people and then seeing her storm off outside. That's not like Cara. She'd never try to create drama. Steph and I were worried, so we went out to check on her. Sorry, Steph went out to check on her. I got held back by Isabella, who was in a bit of a mess. And that was the last time I saw Steph. I feel like it's all my fault. I mean, I sent her out there by herself and I didn't get to say goodbye. They're not letting me see her in the hospital. I just want to know she's okay.
I'll
I'll be completely honest. I had a few drinks that night, so my memory's not the best. My sister, Esme, tried to tell me not to go. She doesn't understand what it's like to not fit in. So I went. I got carried away. I'll admit that. Paige and Amy. I got fed up with them, so I stood up for myself. There's nothing wrong with that. That friend group's never liked me, but the feeling is definitely mutual. Those girls are such bitches. They don't understand how they make me feel. They're all the same. Apart from Steph. Steph is nice. She came and checked up on me at the party. I really appreciated that. I would never want to hurt anyone. Everyone's saying I had a knife. I didn't. I swear. You've got to believe me.
Don't believe everything you hear. Everyone had too much to drink. Yeah, it was a good party. Cara did get kind of angry at Amy though. And Paige, she just went off on one at them. Especially Amy. Pretty much everyone at the party saw. She was yelling and crying. She looked like a right idiot. I think Paige took her to one side and told her to go outside. Cara left and the party carried on. I felt really sick, so I went outside to see if some fresh air would help. I sat on the step. Cara was at the bottom of the garden. She was pacing. So I stood up to leave. Steph and Ruby came out. Ruby stayed with me because when I stood up I felt really dizzy. She said that Steph was going to check on Cara. She sat me back down and went to go get me a glass of water. Everything was spinning. Sorry, I had quite a bit. Hang on. Cara left. She left and Steph was still at the bottom of the garden. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. Cara came up the garden and left out the side gate. Steph was still at the bottom of the garden. She was on a phone. It was really dark, but I could see the light from the phone. That must have been about 11:45. I could hear people inside talking about how Cara had a knife, but I don't think she did. She had nowhere to put it. Ruby came back out and said she'd called me a taxi. She thought I needed to go home. She got me up and took me back inside. Steph was on her own in the garden from that point. So... oh my God. As we went back in, we bumped into... it can't have been her. Could it?
It wasn't me.
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 We walked into Amy. She was going into the garden as we were going in. It was Amy.
She's dead. Steph's dead. No, she can't have died. That wasn't the plan. No one was supposed to die. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. But you've got to believe it wasn't my idea. It was Paige. Paige wanted to show Cara that she shouldn't mess with her. So, she got her to the party, pretended to be her friend, and invited her around her house before for pre-drinks. Paige spiked Cara. So when she arrived at my house, she was already all over the place. When Paige arrived, she pulled me into the hallway and gave me the knife. I hid it in my pocket. About an hour later, Cara started yelling at me, telling me how horrid I've been. All lies. Paige told Cara to go outside and get some fresh air. I went into the dining room. Paige started the rumour that Cara had a knife. Paige told everyone at the party that she was sure Cara had a knife. So if anything happened, like Cara fighting back, she could claim self-defence. Paige told me to get on with it. I didn't know what she meant. You don't understand what Paige is like. and she said that if I didn't, she'd tell everyone at the party that it was my idea and that I'd spiked Cara after she'd yelled at me. So I had no choice. I went into the garden and no one was there. I walked past Isabella and Rooney. I heard someone inside talking about how Cara had the knife. And then they were talking about me and how stupid Cara had made me look. Little, innocent, quiet Cara had put me into my place. And I couldn't wait to tell everyone what happened. I could feel myself getting angrier and angrier by the second. So when I got to the garden, she had her back to me. I stabbed her. It wasn't meant to be Steph. It was supposed to be Cara, not Steph. Steph wasn't supposed to die. Look, I know I'm in so much trouble, but you've got to believe it wasn't my idea. I stabbed her in the side because I didn't think it would, you know, kill her. You need to talk to Paige. Paige got the knife. Paige spiked Cara. It was Paige.
No comment.